And welcome to Shit They Don't Tell You.
Hi.
I am the Iceman.
I'm Nikki Limo.
And today we are indeed answering your questions and relationship questions.
Other relationship questions that aren't yours.
Correct.
But they still count. They're people too.
And if you would like to submit a question, it doesn't have to be a relationship. It can be literally whatever you want.
Yeah.
Submit it to podcast@nikki.limo.
Yeah, podcast@nikki.limo.
And we will prioritize your question.
And they could be about
time.
anything. It doesn't have to be relationships, but you know, you have probably the most experience in that than any other category.
It's the main thing people ask us about other than me and crypto.
But we are not professionals, so don't sue us.
Speaking of that, nothing helps the show more than checking us out on Patreon, patreon.com/sticky.
STIKKI.
You get the show a day early. Also, we do a free roll poker tournament every month.
We do. With
cash prizes. I do a show called Crypto Corner every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You don't have to be there live. You can tune in later, but you can always drop questions on the Patreon. I always post it beforehand. You can drop questions in there, and I answer them live. So
yeah, and we have a great Discord community.
The best ever.
Check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
Mostly it supports the show.
Exactly.
Okay, and what is the show?
So today we're talking relationship. Questions? Yep.
Okay.
Our forte.
Do you want me to start with a question from one of the audience members?
Yes, they go first.
Oh, by the way, if you're part of our Patreon, you get your question answered first. But
I said that already, yeah.
We are pretty caught up on our questions, so there's only a few here. But I am going to start with the most, the earliest submission. So the furthest back, this was submitted in May. Sorry, we're catching up, guys. Yeah. Catching up. The title is, Am I Overthinking My Boyfriend's Quick Change of Mind? All right. Hi, Nikki and Steve. I love you guys. Thanks for getting that in order.
I hope you're still overthinking it out there from May. It's now July. I hope she's just waiting.
Yeah. I love you guys so much, and I absolutely live for your podcast episodes. They make me laugh like I'm delusional and feel supported like family. I will never stop listening. You're the best. Thank you so much.
You're the best.
On to the issue at hand. My boyfriend, 33 male, and I, 25 female, together nearly 5 years, got 2 parakeets about a month ago. We were couch shopping for our new apartment and noticed we were next to a PetSmart and decided to take a look. We went in for a fish, but then we realized how expensive it would be. We started looking at birds instead. Huh, are birds less expensive than fish? That's crazy.
I think birds like $30.
Well, yeah, but like, I guess maintenance.
Oh, but fish is maintenance.
Because the tank is like so much.
You just buy bird seed. It's the easiest shit ever. You just got to clean it.
My boyfriend loves birds, their sounds, their colors, everything, and always admires them when we go to the zoo. We bought 2 birds since we both work, and they
Why does your boyfriend sound like you're a little kid?
And they would be able to keep each other company.
I'm just clowning.
Fast forward to this past week, my boyfriend can't stand them anymore.
Oh, man.
He says they're too annoying with their noises, and they make a mess around their cage. I understand how he feels because he gets a little OCD when it comes to cleanliness and bacteria. COVID kind of turned him into a germaphobe, but he claims he didn't know that they needed so much maintenance. See, that's what I thought. Okay.
Gotta see him at the zoo, brother. See, you gotta just go to the zoo.
Yeah, exactly.
What'd you do?
I've always had pets throughout the years, hamster, guinea pig, and family dogs, so maybe I'm just accustomed to them being quote-unquote dirty. I've grown fond of these birds and I don't want to give them away, but he can't stand them to the point where we're returning them this weekend. I think he knows I'm going to hold some resentment about this, but if we don't return them, he's just going to keep complaining about them every day. He said he feels bad because he knows that I become attached to the birds, but at the end of the day, he's not the right person to care for them. I might be overthinking this because now I'm thinking about all the times we've discussed having kids, but how will we manage that if we can't manage birds? Maybe I'm taking this too close to heart because I've always been an animal lover.
Brother. Kids are worse than birds.
And I adore every pet I get, but I just feel so failed at buying a pet to only give it back. Am I being overdramatic about this whole thing? How do I get over these feelings of resentment? Any advice or thoughts? Much appreciated. With lots of love, Sad Girl. Wow, I was not expecting that.
It's a good one.
Yeah, this is a great one.
It's a good one.
Okay, I'll let you go first.
Honestly, and I'm crazy. I think I'm a crazy person, and I think you've changed me. Mm-hmm. I can't give back pets.
No,
I can't do it. I'm incapable.
I don't think that's crazy.
When I brought them home, I made a promise to them to take care of them. And in bringing them back to the store,
you adopted a member of the family.
I don't dig that. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
Yeah,
I'm incapable, and I don't think I was this way 10 years ago.
Here's the thing: is that like I think the best time to overthink something is before you get the pet.
Yes.
So I don't really like birds that much. I mean, I like looking at them outside, like flying around. I love when like hummingbirds come up, and I mean, I like birds, but everyone I've ever known that has a bird their house kind of smells like bird, and
Facts.
like the birds noises are a lot, and I don't like sounds. I just don't like a lot of sounds.
My grandparents had a bird named Mr. Peepers.
Yeah.
And you remember Mr.
Yeah,
Peepers?
I do.
Mr. Peepers, he would stink up the whole house.
And they live forever.
He outlived them both.
Yeah.
Mr. Peepers outlived both my grandparents.
Yeah, so the thing is I know that about myself, that like bird noises would drive me absolutely insane. Not the right pet for me. Just like I like quiet pets. We have cats and fish.
You already know that though.
I love dogs too, but I don't think I could get one because dog barking sends me as well. Like I just don't really like when they bark when there's like someone at the door. Like it drives me nuts. I love dogs too, but just not for me. Like
I like that we have neighbors that have dogs.
Exactly.
It helps me.
I like that we have neighbors that have kids. I don't know if kids are for me either at this point. But anyway, point being, had I made the commitment to adopt an animal and taking care of them, they became a member of the family. That animal it's like once you sign that commitment, it's that's part of the family. I cannot give them away, rehome them.
Those guys are just sitting there at freaking Petco, brother. They're just sitting there.
It's sad.
It bums me out.
If anything, like rehoming the birds to someone who loves birds.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
That's way better than giving them back to the pet store, because like that's so sad.
That's the thing I would say to your dude is, look, we made a commitment to these animals. Let's find them an actual home and not the pet store. Because
imagine too, they've been keeping each other company, and birds get attached like family, right? And so then imagine you come to the pet store and then they get separated.
Dude, do you think she already brought them back and we're getting her with late advice?
I don't know. Well, I mean, it sounds like they are bringing them back, and that it's just she's wondering if she's crazy for feeling this much closeness to birds, and I don't think you are.
I don't think you are
at all. Like I think that's
we're crazy animal
completely
people.
Reasonable. In fact, when I adopted Franklin, his sister, we were supposed to foster her until she could find a home, and it's just like good to adopt kittens in pairs because they like to have like a friend, like they need a buddy to like roll around with, and that's also how they learn like how hard to bite and stuff.
Yes,
like to not bite you too hard.
Yeah, because they know it hurts.
Yeah, exactly. And anyway, his sister was adorable, and we thought we could keep both of them, and then it was just like too much for my ex-boyfriend at the time, where like they were tracking litter everywhere, and he's also like a super neat freak, germaphobe. Like
we know he's the best. We know
crazy. Well, I'm just saying this guy is very similar to her.
He's the greatest.
Yeah, he's the greatest. He took that cat back, and it was sad because then like Franklin was all alone. He has separation anxiety when I'm not there, and like when I lived alone with him, he would get so sad about me not being home. And then it wasn't until we got Joe, like 4 years later, that like he.
So glad you did that.
I didn't mean to get Joe.
I'm so glad you did.
That was another ex-boyfriend.
That changed my life forever.
Yeah. Well, I will say that Franklin was much happier. Franklin adopted Joe. I was supposed to just foster Joe too.
And then I adopted Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my house adopted a Joe P smells everywhere.
Yeah, my head adopted a Joe P smell.
Yeah. Our cat pees all over the freaking place.
Well, he didn't used to.
We're incapable
6 years of him not peeing, and then like slowly he'd pee like once a year, and then like now it's just all the fucking time.
Pees on hats. Who pees on a hat?
Look, it's like ruining everything.
Everything. It's ruining our lives, actually.
We want to not have that, but the thought of like putting him, he's like 14 now, so like the thought of like putting him somewhere
like a farm,
like
always
somewhere.
When I say I'm like, you're going
it's just
to the freaking
sad
farm.
though, because like he's been part of this family for so long, and he's like so affectionate and just loves Franklin so much. I don't know. I couldn't do it. I would think about it too much, like the guilt. Even
you're saving his life, I tell you.
The amount of annoyingness the pee causes, and like the frustration and the tears, it's just still I couldn't live with myself.
He pees on Nikki's head.
He has done that, yeah. Only when
Multiple times.
if I'm gone for like a vacation, if I'm gone, not even vacation, but lately this year work, like I've been gone for like a week at a time, 2 weeks at a time, and when I come back, he like shows me how much he missed me by peeing on my head,
emptying his bladder on your whole body,
claiming me. Yeah, claiming you. Yeah, I read about it on the internet.
It's really great.
He's claiming me because he loves me.
It's so great.
So that's great. So it's nice.
He does love you.
So I'm honored. Flattered.
I would not take the birds back, but if you already did that, I would not hold it against your guy. It's just anytime you guys ever do anything again, he has to go hard research.
He has to like really think about it before making a impulse decision.
Yeah, hard research.
Yeah.
Like, if me and Nikki are gonna do anything, this bitch goes into the details.
Yeah.
Of like what the fuck it is.
Well, yeah, because I hate the feeling of regret. Like, that is a feeling that I have tried my very best. Whenever I like take a risk on something, I always think deeply into, will I regret this if things go right? What are the possible things that could happen that would make me regret this decision? And if I can live with those consequences of that possibly happening, then it's fine. The decision's good. But if I can't, if it's like, oh, I'm going to ruin this, whatever, this pet, if I decide it's too annoying, like that's like not okay. So let's just not get the pet.
Yeah. And I just give you a lot of credit because you definitely, like when we got fish, you like went hard on the fish.
Yeah. I probably spent hundreds of hours into fish videos.
That's what I mean. So like, and I didn't
even ask for this fish.
When we got a jacuzzi, Nikki knows how to do the water and all this shit.
Yeah, I put a lot of hours
She
into
just
that
is
too.
like that kind of brain, you know? So, but it works out.
Yeah,
like,
because if I'm going to commit to something,
exactly.
I just don't want to like fuck it up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So, hey, good luck out there.
Good luck out there. Don't let it, again, like, obviously now you learn something about your boyfriend.
Yeah,
and,
no takesies, backsies on pets, guys.
Yeah, and also hold this over his head for like
use
any
it.
time. Yeah, but like, no, seriously, think about things before you commit.
Yeah.
That's not to you, to him. Like, obviously,
By the way,
if it was up to you, you'd keep
our
them.
producer, maybe he is, maybe he isn't.
Maybe he doesn't exist.
Maybe he doesn't exist. He got a doggo, a little dog.
Oh, yeah.
And
He was
he was supposed to just
foster.
hang out with it, like fostering it.
Yeah.
Same shit happened to him that happened to us.
Little softies.
Softy sucker. He's
little
a sucker.
Softy soy boys.
And I'm a sucker.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. That's just, I just think, sometimes the animal picks you too. And I think that's what happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Agreed. All right. Well, that was from, do you want me to read another email or did you want to switch off back and forth?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I like this.
All right. Well, we have another submission from one of you. Again, if you have any questions, you can submit them to Nikki podcast@nikki.limo, podcast@nikki.limo. And our next question is titled, How to Overcome a Sexual Misunderstanding in a Relationship.
Let's go.
Ooh, drama. Okay. Hi, Nikki and Steve. I'm a big fan of the show. You always make me laugh, and I've been a fan of both of you for so long. Thank you so much. We love you. Appreciate that. Also, the second person to order our names in the correct order.
No.
Anyway, here's what happened. Possible trigger warning for sexual assault. Okay, thank you for the trigger warning. Just for you listeners out there, there's a trigger warning. Okay, I, 22, female, and my boyfriend, 20 male. Oh, she's older. Okay. Recently had a miscommunication during sex that led to a lot of hurt feelings on both ends. We've been together for around 2 months now, but I have known him for almost a year. We were long distance for a month and he flew down to stay with me for a few days. Overall, we have a great relationship and a great sex life. He's always very attentive during sex, well, except for this most recent incident. A couple nights ago, we were extremely tired, but we decided to have sex anyway. I live with my parents currently, and I was super paranoid that they'd hear us from downstairs. I told him to hold on a few times, and he'd sometimes stop or slow down, but it seemed like only half of those requests registered. I then told him to stop. He paused and then continued for like 2 or 3 more seconds max until I moved him off of me. When I moved him off, he didn't fight or force himself on me. He seemed really confused and asked if I was okay. I told him I was overwhelmed and just needed a minute. He apologized very soon after, saying he should have stopped immediately. I was stunned because I felt like he was ignoring my boundaries during sex. Usually when I say hold on or give me a sec, he stops or moves off right away, but this time it wasn't the case. He said he was too tired to process what I was saying in the moment. I felt shocked and distressed and wanted to talk, but he was exhausted and fell asleep right away. I went back to my room. He's staying in another room while at my parents' house. I didn't sleep much because I was stressed out about what just happened and was doing some anxious Googling. The next day we talked and he didn't fully remember what happened. When I explained things to him, he broke down crying, saying he felt gross and he felt like a monster. I reassured him that he was tired and he didn't intentionally cross my boundaries. I was also tired when we were having sex. I didn't realize just at the time how crazy exhausted he was, so I also felt guilty for initiating when things were so hazy for him. He described it as being half conscious, half awake, and almost felt like a dream. I ended up calling a sexual assault hotline, and the counselor reassured me that no one did anything wrong, and that misunderstandings like that just sometimes happen in relationships, that we're young and shouldn't freak out too much if we know we both have good intentions. I had her talk to my boyfriend because he was beating himself up over what happened, and she reiterated what she had told me about how this was absolutely not sexual assault in the slightest, nor is it even a gray area. He's still struggling with it. This morning, I admitted to him that I was feeling some anger and hatred towards him, but I also acknowledged that it was not his fault he did not assault me. I really hope that we can work through this because I love him a lot, and I know we both are not in the clearest of headspaces when we had sex. The counselor told us that it is normal for us to feel shocked or freaked out about what happened, and it may take a few days, but we'll be fine. And we had a long discussion to ensure it doesn't happen again. Have you guys ever had this happen in your relationship or in a previous one? How did you resolve things and deal with it? Lots of love, Anonymous. There is a PS. There's a PS. I also wanted to mention that after the incident, he told me I could confide in whoever I wanted to about what happened, tell me process it, including friends and family. I consider this a massive green flag because he has wanted me to have a support system, even if it could damage his reputation. I ended up confiding in two of my friends who are also a couple, and I think we just had a tired misunderstanding, and I agree. Anyway, that's all. Love you guys.
This is a touchy one. I think I think you have your head and heart in the right place, but this is about something else.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that this is like about the act that happened exactly.
Not about the sexual part of it.
Yeah.
I think it's about a crossing boundaries part of
exactly.
it. Exactly. Like being dismissed.
And being in that.
Yeah.
And just making sure that you guys are on the same page there, I think will help.
Yeah.
Because I think you kind of spiraled into like a neurosis about like what just happened because you didn't understand why he didn't listen to you.
Yeah.
And I think that's understandable. But I think sometimes you can overly focus on something that is maybe not what you should be overly focusing on. Like, I think it was the miscommunication part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of a little confused on like whether this advice is for the boyfriend or for her. Because
I think it's for both of them, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Because it sounds like he's beating himself up over it, and then she's like, "No, I agree with all the people."
Well, but then
she was mad at him.
Then she's mad at him. So yeah, it's they're not communicating the whole thing through. I think.
Yeah,
you know
he's
what I mean?
taking it as like I feel like
I fucked up.
Like,
I'm a sex assaulter.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Where it's not about that.
No, it's not
about
that.
the underlying issue of that. Like, as long as he listens to you in normal circumstances, where it's like if you have a concern, he like doesn't overstep a boundary, that kind of thing. That makes sense to me. Have you ever had anything like that happen before?
I've done it to every one of my girlfriends. Yeah, of course.
One time
I don't know even what to say to that. It's like
one time
I say no, then people I don't know if why do you look up to the left when you said no?
Well, he's wearing sunglasses, so like to hide his tells.
That's why.
Yeah.
No, I've never had anything like this happen.
I've had something like this happen where I was flipped over into a nightstand while having sex, and then I was bleeding everywhere. I didn't know. We were both really drunk. It was consensual, but we were both really drunk. Cheap shot. And my husband at the time, he was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna take you to the hospital, but don't lie about what happened. They're gonna lock me up. They're gonna lock me up for domestic violence." And I was stunned. I had no idea what was happening.
And I said, "Don't lie. What a guy."
Yeah, he's like,
"What a stand-up."
I might go to jail tonight. I'm like, what?
In the moment,
why?
I was,
I was more scared about that because I was like, am I too drunk to understand why you would go to jail?
Here's the thing, folks. Nikki was bleeding from her nose. So when you get a nosebleed from hitting the nightstand, it's like from your lip and nose or whatever.
Yeah.
It looks intense.
Yeah, because any head wound is
looks like murder.
There's just a lot of blood that comes out of your head.
I was mortified. I felt terrible.
I didn't even know I was hurt.
Exactly. She didn't give a fuck. She wanted to keep going. I'm not kidding.
So then I'm in the emergency room drunk and I'm bleeding and I'm crying because he freaked me out. and the nurses were like, "What happened?" And I was like, "Okay, he told me not to lie about this." But I was having sex and we were trying to get pregnant, so it's not like it was, it was planned. It was very consensual. And anyway, he flipped me over and it was fun, but I hit a nightstand and I thought I was fine. Yeah. And I was like, they're just like kind of holding back laughter because I'm like really shaken up about telling them about our sexcapade that we had. Yeah. But I still have a scar from that.
When I went into the room, I was expecting stern faces, shaking heads, like a Christmas story. You know what I mean?
Like you're in trouble.
Yeah, you're in trouble. And instead, the nurses are laughing and you're laughing, and I was like, God damn it.
And I was like vlogging it too.
But dude, when you're a guilty fucking Catholic boy, that's just how that's how everything is. It's like, I'm going to
I
jail
was
for
like
this shit.
so confused. I was like, why are you leaving me? Why would they take you away?
Yeah, that was pretty stupid.
As far as like having a boundary crossed, okay, well, I mean, there's like been times where like boundaries have been crossed in an actual like non-consensual way.
Yeah.
But I've never really had this, like, it's not like, that's why I believe that it's just the underlying issue, because
Yes.
there's like two separate things going on. Like, if it's consensual on the sexual part, but then there was something else that
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's, and who knows, maybe I'm wrong, but that's just my take
Yeah,
from
that's
hearing
what I
your couple
gather from it,
paragraphs,
too.
and we appreciate you asking us.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys like kind of build a language out of this. Too.
Yeah, that's really what I want to happen, because I think it'll be great. He won't feel guilty. You won't feel like this eerie weirdness mixed with anger, because I think you just don't understand each other yet.
Yeah.
And I think that'll help.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for writing.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. Again, if you want to ask a question, podcast@nikki.limo. Up to you.
I appreciate
We're going to go on a
this
little break. And when we come back, we got some questions from other internet strangers.
right.
From internet strangers who have not yet found our podcast, but they probably will.
They definitely will.
Yeah.
When they're like, hey, you're using my content for free. You're using all of our content. It's my content.
Free.
Be right back.
Goodbye. Hey, we're on a break right now, and I guess we're supposed to promo our show.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about our show.
We're going to talk about a show that you took a break from to like
Right.
talk about how you should listen to our show.
Technically, we're not on break. We're still working.
It's called Shit They Don't Tell You, and it's all the shit that we wish people would have told us that we had to mess up on and figure out ourselves. Now we're telling you about it.
That's it.
And sometimes we answer questions that you send in, and sometimes we judge other people's situations.
So keep listening, and check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/sticky. Thank you.
And shout out to Brian Jorgensen.
Huge shout out to Brian Jorgensen real quick. And we are back. Speaking of questions, relationship questions in the sexual zone,
Yeah.
this one's kind of a banger.
Okay. Pun intended.
Like that. I, 39 female, am failing to see the humor in this message my 46 male husband sent his quote friend. What part of this seems like a simple joke?
Okay.
I, 39 female.
I'm good at like deciphering jokes.
You are good.
So.
I, 39 female, came home from work last night, and my husband, 46 male, was passed out on the couch. His phone was open to a text message he had sent his friend. Quote, I really didn't want to bother you for saying I'd sniff coke off your pussy. I thought that would be inappropriate, but I would. Let's do it, female's name. The coke thing. We both want it. We both want to. Let's just see how it goes. That's the text.
I thought this was going to be more defensible.
When I confronted him, he told me it was just a joke.
Hilarious.
And I'm failing to see the LOL, JK, LMAO. Maybe I just don't get it and need the joke explained.
Okay, so like I've been through this before
Yeah. Okay, great.
because like my ex, I found topless pictures of some girl he was like hanging out with the night before, even though he said like he was just chilling with his guy friend. But you know, there's topless girl pictures, and he told me that she sent it as a joke. And so I didn't get it at the time, but now I can see the hilarity of
Yeah, you get it.
naked boobs. It's really funny.
bit.
And the thing is, like, it may take a couple of years until it's like really
Well,
funny.
wasn't she passed out?
No, that was a different set. Same
oh, my
guy.
bad. Same guy, different set. He
but
was a good guy, though.
a super good guy.
Yeah.
That set of pictures was on a hard drive of pictures he took himself from his phone. This was she
Right.
took topless photos of herself and sent
Consensual.
it to him, and in a joke way. It was a joke way. So that was the difference. Like this one was
It's just
this
bit,
was a
babe.
joke.
Babe, the
It was-
titties
and
are out. Babe, the
it's-
titties are supposed to be in, but they're out.
But they're out.
That doesn't happen.
And like I'm not attracted to her, so that's
yeah,
funny.
It's so stupid.
It's like so
this
funny
is so
because
silly,
like
and I saved it.
I get it if I was
saved it.
attracted to her,
And
but
I saved it on my hard drive.
I'm not, so they're just funny. Boobs are funny.
Look, it's in a folder that says jokes. Are you stupid?
Yeah, are you dumb?
Are you stupid?
Yeah, so now like my palate has gotten more advanced, and I can understand how hilarious it is. And maybe one day this person will understand how hilarious it is to do coke off your coworker's pussy.
Right.
It's funny.
It's super funny. By the way, I got a buddy. I gotta, you know.
Yeah. I already
You
know
already know,
before
right?
even you
He
saying anything.
fantasized for years about a chick doing coke off his dick. And then he finally was like doing it in the middle of doing it. But like his dick is not the biggest dick. And so coke kept on falling off of his dick and he wasn't able to make the dream exactly happen.
I see.
It's
Yeah,
pretty good.
he didn't execute it as well as in his fantasies.
As the fantasy,
yeah. I can understand that.
It's a family show.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's a family show. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
I think my
Limos.
grandpa watches all of these.
Oh, great.
So hi, Papa.
I love it. It's fantastic. Okay, I got one that's, I don't even know if it's real.
Okay.
It's pretty intense.
Okay.
Let me read this to you and you tell me if you want to hear the rest.
Okay.
Last night, 30-year-old female, my father-in-law, 67-year-old male, just told me he loves me and always has.
Father-in-law, 67. Okay. Okay.
I'm stunned and have no idea where to turn to first. What route should I take?
They're not related.
That's correct.
So it's not like
it's not like weird.
It's not as intense.
No.
It's not like it's
not that weird, right?
That would be fucking crazy.
This is like a Jerry Springer
I want to
episode.
know.
Okay,
I want to know. I want to know the rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
It could be fake. Who knows?
Who knows?
All right, 30 female, have been with my husband, 30 male, for 10 years and married for 3. From the start of our relationship, I've gotten along very well with his parents, 64 female, 67 male. My own parents were certainly not the nicest of people, and I don't have a relationship with what little family I have left, so I'm blessed to have such supportive and kind people. It's been a lot to me. Our homes are a short drive from each other, and we regularly meet up and host one another. Yesterday, my husband's parents came over to our home for dinner. This is something we've done 100 times before, and for the most part, nothing was any different. Not long after they arrived, however, I began noticing father-in-law was drinking heavier than he usually did. We always meet up for dinners at the weekend, so it's never unusual to cut loose and drink a little, but my father-in-law was noticeably going through beers quicker than any of us. My husband even made a joke about it, to which Dad just smiled and said he had a busy day, wanted to chill. I honestly didn't think anything of it, and it wasn't brought up again. The rest of the evening passed well, and after we ate and plates were cleared, my husband and mother-in-law started chatting in the kitchen. I went back into the living room to see my father-in-law sitting in the chair and staring into space. I was conscious that he had a lot to drink, so I asked carefully if he was feeling okay. He looked at me with a serious expression and in a low voice and said, "I need to talk to you in private." Okay. His tone made me nervous, and I went to sit opposite of him. And that is when my father-in-law told me he was in love with me and always has been. He told me he thought I was beautiful and wished we could be together in another life. Finally, he begged me not to tell his wife or son, but said he needed me to know the truth. You could probably imagine I was absolutely stunned.
Yeah.
If he hadn't looked or sounded the way he did, I'd probably just assume he was joking. But he looked at me, and at that point, my husband came back into the room. I know I probably should have spoken up, but I barely said a word the rest of the night. I was just shell-shocked and didn't even know where to begin. After perhaps an hour more, my parents-in-law said their goodbyes. I'd been shocked and confused more than anything else after he told me that. After they left, father-in-law stared at me in a way he never had before. And for the first time, I truly felt uncomfortable in his presence. It's the next day now. I have no idea what to do. I don't know if my father-in-law was just so drunk and perhaps upset by something else he had said that he didn't mean, or if he was just so drunk he said something he didn't mean, or if he was completely serious. I don't know what to do here.
No, he meant it.
That's insane.
Drunk mind speaks sober hearts.
There you go.
So
if your mom did that to me, which I assume could happen.
Yeah, that could happen. She drinks. Sometimes she gets a little tipsy.
And she loves me.
She loves you.
I would never tell you.
Same.
It'd be our secret.
Check. I've never said a word.
I mean, you have to say something immediately, right? Is it insane?
Or
do you just honestly let it lay because it's like so weird?
It's so weird. I don't know.
It's like not
I can't
worth
really
bringing up,
answer
kinda,
that right now, but like I'm trying to picture it, and it would like have to completely depend on the person. Like if they stepped a boundary, like they tried to like put hands on me, then yeah, I would 100% say something.
Yeah.
But if it was just like a confession like that, or they feel guilty about it, or they like, they're like kind of just making a confession that they would normally not ever say.
Yeah.
I kind of feel just bad for them. I kind of just feel sad, and I don't think I would tell you.
Do you think for him it's like Love Actually?
Yeah.
He's like doing the sign at the door and shit.
Yes.
And he's like, I just need you to know this shit because it's Christmas and, and Christmas you tell the truth. By the way, never heard that phrase in my whole life.
That's not a thing.
At Christmas you tell the truth. Who says that?
No one says that.
At Christmas you drink.
We lie about a fat guy that gives everyone presents.
Right.
What do we lie all the time?
At Christmas you drink eggnog. Nobody says at Christmas you tell the truth. What the fuck is that? At Christmas you give gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, right. At Christmas you eat the cookies and drink the milk. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, at Christmas you tell the truth. Who the fuck?
You open the gifts too.
You do.
I do.
Because you get a lot of them.
I do.
Yeah, I think I would probably keep it with me too.
Yeah.
It's just too weird.
It's weird, and also I just feel bad for them. Like, because like nothing's gonna happen. That's just like a little crush dream that the person has, and like it's not gonna. I just don't see who it helps to say anything. It's like they've just told me a secret.
Yeah.
And that's it. And like as long as they don't make it weird at every family function.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to know.
I don't want to know. Or you mean like?
Yeah. If it was like my old man.
Totally. Yeah.
I don't think I want to know.
I wouldn't want to know either.
I like my old man, and that
but honestly, if you told me, I would kind of just brush it off. I would laugh it off. I'd brush it off.
Yeah.
Because I don't think like anyone
would feel good
would
about that,
put
probably.
actions about it.
Well, the low hush tone thing is pretty.
No, I mean,
serious.
if it happened to you, like if my mom said that to you, like I'd just be like, she's silly.
That's true.
Like I don't know. I don't think I wouldn't be mad at her.
Yeah.
I feel like, you can't help what you feel. Kind of sad. Like, okay, picture this. Also, picture this. So you like they're older. They're like 67. They've been with the same person for like 30 something years probably, and like maybe he's just lonely. A lot of times older couples, they grow apart, they don't really talk that much anymore.
Yeah.
And then like maybe he's just the guy's lonely and like he's like having crushes on like
the chick he hangs out with the most.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I always feel bad when it comes to human emotions because a lot of times you can't help how you feel. You can help what you do about it. You can help like your actions about it.
Right.
But you can't like help like that, like, what you feel. It's like it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. All right.
So I would just feel bad. I would feel sad for the person.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We worked that one out.
Okay.
Next one.
Good luck out there.
Yeah. Good luck to you.
I would literally take it to my grave.
Yeah. Well, as always, Reddit's like, you always have to tell the truth. And it's like, bro.
Yeah, well,
what does it do?
They're 13.
So now you're yeah, exactly. Well, now your husband's got to kind of front his dad about like some.
Yeah, I used to think a lot of things when I was younger, like why would they do that? Why wouldn't they say something? Why would it? And now as I get older, I'm like, I see. You can see like 5 steps ahead.
Yeah.
Where it's like, is this worth it?
Exactly.
Who does it help?
Right. I know. Let's make everything the weirdest ever.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll be good because we're going to tell the truth now about something benign.
I don't believe in sweeping everything under the rug either.
No,
I'm just about picking and choosing the battles, right?
Yeah.
Like what one would actually help people. And if it doesn't help anyone, then you're just like kind of ruining an innocent
That's like,
experience.
people who have to do like political battles with their family or whatever the fuck.
Exhausting.
And it's like, I have to because it's the truth. And it's like, shut the fuck up, you self-righteous fucking prick.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Secondly, one of my favorite quotes ever is Keanu Reeves. He says
about 2 + 2 is 5.
He's like, I don't really get into discussions anymore. If somebody comes up to me and they're like, hey, 1 plus
2 + 2 is 5.
Yeah, 2 + 2 is 5. I'm like, sure,
right.
have fun.
You're right.
You're right, have fun.
Yeah.
I love that.
Me too. I'm glad you're getting that because I've always tried to tell you that.
Well, I know. I would think I was a self-righteous prick. I was just yelling at myself.
Yeah.
I just sometimes just, I'm a mouthy person.
Yeah.
You know
but
what I mean?
you like hang on to things.
Yeah, and I hang on to everything.
Too long.
Yeah, I don't know
Let
about that.
go.
I don't know about that.
Let it go. 2 + 2 is 5.
Let go of your engine.
2 + 2 is 5.
Tell the plane to let go of its engine, right? Tell the car, hey, you don't need those pistons.
First of all,
get rid of them.
Car doesn't
You're
speak
holding
English.
on to them.
Car doesn't speak English. If it did, I wouldn't need to go get it serviced right now. I'd just tell the car to fix itself.
Tell the horse, hey, you don't need those hooves.
I thought you were saying whores.
No, tell the horse.
Tell the horse.
You don't need those hoofs.
All my whores need hooves.
I'm just saying, dude.
Hooves.
to all those many horses. They don't need those hooves.
Move on, Green.
All right. Family wants me, 27 female, to go to uncle's wedding. He's 35, but I don't want to. Am I acting bratty?
But I don't want to.
I don't want to. So my youngest uncle is getting married soon. And while I get along with him great and grew up with him, the family invited my stepdad, who used to abuse me mentally and physically when I was a teen. Yeah. I haven't seen him for years. I'm still in contact with my mom. But if he's at her house or at an event, it's known that I don't go because I don't want to see him or interact with him ever again. He and my mom also were the reason I got estranged from my other uncles and just lost a ton of family, which then led me to make some pretty bad life choices as a result because of cutting ties with family caused me to spiral a bit when I was younger.
Yeah.
Anyhow, long story short, I really don't want to go and see him and other family as well, but I know weddings are fun, and I'm very happy for my uncle to have found love. However, my mom and grandma are adamant that I have to go, and I have to wear a certain dress.
What?
And that it's not possible for me to not go. My mom says I'm making her very unhappy. I'm now wondering whether I should just go and not miss out on a family event and please my mom, I guess, or if I'll just miss out on it and see my uncle and his new wife the week after.
This poor girl got narcissistic abuse from her mom and then like got actually physically and mentally abused from her stepdad, which actually makes a lot of sense. Like there are fucked up families like this.
Yeah.
So yeah, her mom is using narcissist tactics of like the child is there to please her.
Yes.
You know, like you're not doing something. You're making me unhappy. You're making me unhappy.
Exactly.
By not wearing exactly what I want you to wear and showing up to where you want.
I'm the parent. You're the kid. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. No, this is fucked up, and it's also like I get why the OP is feeling bad about it because like they were trained all their lives to like please their parents.
Yes. So you're guilty because you're not pleasing your parents again.
Yeah. So she's got a lot of like therapy and unwiring to do to like get rid of that. But like, yeah, you're not in the wrong here. Like, I wouldn't want to see my abuser at a fucking wedding where I'm supposed to like be celebrating someone I love.
Yeah, no.
And then I'm having to deal with this like fucked up period of my past that is sitting next to me. And why do I have to wear the dress that my mom needs me to wear? That's so weird.
It's so weird.
Like if I'm going to cover up head to toe. I don't want that creepo looking at me.
Yeah. Apparently there's an edit on this one too that says, I talked to my mom about it calmly and she said she will cut me off if I don't go.
Yeah, fucking narcissist. No, not about it. Actually, her cutting you off is probably a good thing.
Imagine like
her cutting you off is the best thing that could happen to you.
Imagine thinking that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like that's
accept this gift.
You literally.
Yeah. It's going to be hard though because like I have a friend that has a mom like this and as much as she recognizes that it's abusive and that this is like not a healthy thing, she still like wants to please her mom all the time.
Yeah.
So it's
sometimes you just love love your abuser.
Yeah. Or like you're just trained that's like the most comfortable, like you just are trained that way. That's the most familiar.
Yeah.
So that's how you perceived love to be.
Also, it's kind of this wild thing that happens sometimes in families. I've seen this many times where you have somebody who really did something messed up as hell, but because they're in the family, everyone's like, well, that's just them. And it's like, wait, so I'm the one who has to be uncomfortable when I go to family functions. They're the scumbag. And then you guys are all excusing their behavior.
And if you call it out, you're
the asshole.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, cool, thanks. All right. And then everyone just acts all cool with them. Like they're fucking dabbing them up and shit. And you're like, am I the only one here with a memory?
Nah. In their defense, you can hold on to grudges for a long time, but
I can hold on to grudges for as long as time is.
But yeah, but when it comes to cutting off toxic people, like unhealthy people, like I don't think you're in the wrong about that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I don't just fly off the handle and decide, oh, I'm done with this person.
Yeah.
You have to really do something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I believe it or not, I've forgiven people in my life. Believe it or not.
That's crazy.
I know.
Who? List them.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
But it's happened before. For sure it's happened.
I'm telling you, I don't remember off the top of my head. Yeah. No, not off the top of my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I believe you. No, it sounds legit.
Yeah. Yeah. Every example I'm thinking of name wise,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, I just
You haven't forget. Yeah, you haven't forgiven them. Yeah, you just think about the revenge that you took, and like makes you happy, and so it got resolved in your brain. But did you forgive them? Hell no. You're not a forgiver person.
I'm not generally, but if you really fuck up, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm coming for you.
Yeah. Okay.
But if it's something minute, like who gives a shit? It's like, hey, I bumped into your car or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you're my neighbor.
No,
like,
they have to piss you off in a personal way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know how you operate.
Oh, I know you know how I operate. You're the best. You kind of are amused by it, but also troubled.
Yeah,
which is a good mix.
Because I like hope that you kind of evolve a little bit out of it,
There's no
and
change
forgive
in me, baby.
people.
I'm
but
38 years old.
Like, you know, a little bit is the thing, but also like I just don't think you will. So I'm amused by it.
Well, me and your dad are very similar.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I get to talk to him about this stuff. And we both are just like, hell yeah.
Yeah, you high five each other about like the petty wars that you guys get into with people. Yeah.
He's the best.
Well,
shout out Ben.
They say that you marry people that are like the parent that you got along with least.
Is that right?
Yeah. We have a great relationship now, but didn't get along with when I was younger.
You're not like my dad at all.
Yeah, that's true.
At all. And I get along with my dad.
Yeah, I'm like your mom.
I'm just saying, like, my mom, I was just around my mom the whole time growing up.
Yeah.
And I was around him less.
You're weird.
Yeah, I get along with both
I'm
of my
like
parents.
your mom a lot.
You are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I love your mom.
She's the best. So are you. All right, that's all the time we have for today.
All right, guys. Well, there's that.
The
and if you would like to ask us a question, podcast at Nikki.Limo anytime, and at KKI.LAMO. We will answer your questions. Also, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/sticky, STIKKI. We do poker tournaments with cash prizes every month. We do live streams. Steve does a Crypto Corner stream, and you get this podcast a day early. So there's that.
We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.